Alright, today I'm going to make a video of the retired orchardee in his backyard and just show you a few things I do and root and whatnot. And this video will kind of help me as it goes along. Kind of been working on it for 2 or 3 years now. It's the little grape trellis with some muscadine grapes. I got Southern Home, Triumph, and a couple Carlos here on this vine. And on along the ditch over here, got some nanner trees, which that cold snap pops them back every year, but they seem to came back pretty strong this year. I got a few mulberries in the front yard, and I decided to put some grapes on this fence leading into one side of my backyard here, and most of it's Southern Home. I've got 2 Southern Home, Fry, and a heck, I can't even, Nesbitt muscadine. And if I keep the coons off of it every year, it'll make a huge difference. And this is my couple Carlos and a Fry also. Very, very heavy producing grapevines. It blows my mind how many grapes comes off of this every year, and this will be its third. It was 2 years. This is 2 years old. This set of grapevines here. And I know people complain about how close I plant things together, but I'm just looking for something in my backyard to eat, that's all. I have 3 mulberries, Pakistan mulberries here. I actually just planted them for shade and see how well they do here in zone 9A. And I got a few common figs. I got 4 common figs there. That was an old Florida homestead fig from my wife's side. And a few more bananas and a loquat, Japanese plum. And this here's a brown turkey fig. This is I just planted it this year, and it was less the size of those small ones, and it's got a couple on it. See if they any good. And I got a pineapple pear, and I got another fig I planted yesterday, just put in the ground. It's also a brown turkey, and I had to cut the root. I rooted it last year, and it decided it wanted to grow a 20-foot root underneath it, so it's sitting there struggling a little bit, but it was only planted yesterday. It'll be fine. And I got a couple small citrus there that for some reason on that side of the yard nothing really grows great, so I really could care less about those little citrus I plant, but just decided to plant the dang things. Forget the name of them, but they slow growing, very slow growing. This is a Sayo Persimmon. I've got 2 of them that I just put in the ground a week ago. This here is an old Florida wild orange that's actually sweet, and I've cut it off. I cut it off 2 years ago at the bottom just because I was going to graft to it, but my graft didn't take. But I'm gonna let it grow and let it have oranges on it. It'll actually be a very good orange. They're very sweet with a real tangy. Just come off an old homestead of a friend of mine. This pear tree I've grafted a sand pear and an Asian pear to it. This will be its second year now, and I'll probably let it have fruit next year, maybe. And I got a lone apple tree because for some reason apples and peaches hate my yard, and I've got to get another apple to go with this one. That's the Granny Smith, but this particular one will not make love to itself. It needs somebody else to do it. So I will definitely be getting another one at some point. That's my wife grew grapefruit, old Florida grapefruit. It's a pink. It's come off of a homestead. They're very delicious. Now, she done these by seed, and everybody knows that you flip a coin whether it's going to be worth a poot or not, but hopefully here in the next 3 years or so it'll have a fruit, and we'll be able to know if we want to use this as a to graft with or not. And I got 2 of those, 3 of them actually. That's a lemon tree. None of the lemons held this year for whatever reason. I ain't sure. I forget the name of that dang thing, but they're slow growing too. We'll talk about that another time. This is another one of those trees of my wife's that she wanted me to plant. This one here is a pink grapefruit, come out of Alabama. That is exactly been in the ground for 2 years. It's of course done nothing, but at some point it will. This is a lemon. It's a Eureka Lemon. 2 years in the ground and it's loaded. It's my blood orange tree. I've got about seven maybe on it. This is the second year. Now you notice all these are the same size. That there's Valencia, and that little turd right there is a heck, yeah, I can't call the name of it, but as you can tell, it is very slow growing. I've got a hood pear, of course my Confederate rose, planted back here for whatever reason, I don't know. And I got another kefir pear that does not grow. It's been there for over 2 years. I put it on the very back along with that lemon there, and it just does not grow, but I'm gonna leave it just because I can. I put a few ever-bearing berries back here on the fence, 3 or 4 of them, just for the heck of it, no reason whatsoever. I'll probably just cut them down. I was tired of them being in buckets. This is the Myers lemon. Last year all the leaves fell off, and or the beginning of this year, and it leaved out and grew some, so we'll see. I think it just needs to get older. Also got several grapevines on this back, which are Southern Home, Fry, and a Carlos and a Triumph, and a plum tree, Methley plum. That's the oldest tree I have in my yard. When I started this 3 years ago, and I brought it back to life twice. I had it planted in too wet of an area, and it was just pitiful. So I just stuck it on the fence row, which I swore I'd never plant stuff on fence rows, and look at me, just for the heck of it, and see what would happen. This here, these are huckleberries. Come off of 3 generations of my family. Family farm. This, I remember as a kid, maybe a third, quarter an acre, 10-foot tall huckleberry bushes. And that's what they used for jellies and all kinds of stuff back in the day. And They were just going to tear them up